Welcome to History 101, where the past comes alive. On this channel, we explore the stories, the people, and the events that shaped our world today. The dawn of the 20th century was a moment brimming with transformation, on the battlefield, in scientific discovery, amidst nature's fury, and in human enterprise. The year 1900 is a lens through which we glimpse the intersections of revolution, catastrophe, and progress. In this documentary, we explore 5 pivotal events that not only shaped their time, but continue to reverberate across history. In the heart of China, at the turn of the century, a storm was brewing. It wasn't one of natural force, but of human upheaval. A rebellion stirred by the winds of imperialism and resentment. The Boxer Rebellion, born of anti-foreign and anti-Christian fervor, erupted as China grappled with foreign influence that permeated its lands. The Yehetuan, or righteous and harmonious fists, gave voice to a populace embittered by foreign exploitation and crippling drought. Their targets, foreigners and Christian converts, symbols of a changing world they fiercely opposed. As the rebellion reached Beijing, the very heart of China's imperial power, foreign legations were surrounded, besieged for 55 days. The world watched as Chinese rebels clashed with the might of the Eight-Nation Alliance, an unprecedented coalition of global powers. When the siege was broken, the Boxer Protocol that followed imposed a heavy price upon China, deepening the grip of foreign powers and leaving a legacy of humiliation. But even as China struggled to regain control of its future, far from Asia, another conflict raged, a battle for dominance in a land as rich in resources as it was in tension: South Africa. In the rugged plains of South Africa, the British Empire found itself entangled in a war that defied its expectations. The Second Boer War, a clash of empires and republics, was not just a struggle for land. It was a battle for South Africa's rich gold and diamond deposits, coveted by all who sought to rule. For the Boer settlers, descendants of Dutch colonists, this war was a fight for sovereignty against the expanding British Empire. The war raged across the veld, with Boer commandos employing guerrilla tactics that confounded the British forces. Towns like Mafeking became symbols of resistance, their names etched into the annals of history. But the British response was ruthless. Scorched earth tactics and concentration camps devastated the Boer civilian population. Victory, when it came, reshaped the southern tip of Africa, uniting the Boer republics under British rule. Yet, while political borders shifted and nations grappled for power, nature itself would soon unleash a force far beyond the control of empires, a hurricane of unimaginable destruction on the shores of Texas. On September 8, 1900, the residents of Galveston, Texas, awoke to a day that seemed like any other. But nature had plans that would forever change their world. Without modern technology to forewarn them, Galveston's inhabitants had little idea that a massive hurricane was hurtling toward them, the deadliest in U.S. history. Winds exceeding 135 miles per hour ravaged the city, leaving a path of devastation and claiming thousands of lives. Homes, businesses, and the very foundations of Galveston were swept away by the storm surge. The city was left in ruins, its people reeling from loss on a staggering scale. And yet, from this catastrophe arose a lesson in survival. Galveston rebuilt, fortified by a newly constructed seawall, a testament to human resilience in the face of nature's wrath. As the waters receded and Galveston began its recovery, across the Atlantic, a very different storm was brewing, one that would shake the foundations of science itself. At the very same moment that nature was tearing apart lives in Texas, in the calm halls of academia in Germany, a revolution was quietly taking shape. This time, in the realm of the invisible. Max Planck, a brilliant physicist, stood on the precipice of an idea that would upend the world of physics. The laws of classical mechanics, which had governed our understanding of the universe for centuries, were about to be challenged. In December of 1900, Planck presented his revolutionary theory of quantized energy to the German Physical Society. His discovery, suggesting that energy is emitted in discrete packets or quanta, marked the birth of quantum theory. This radical concept laid the groundwork for a new era of physics, one that would explain the behavior of atoms, molecules, and the fundamental building blocks of the universe. Planck's work would not only transform our understanding of the natural world, but spark a scientific movement that would define the 20th century. Yet, even as science advanced in leaps and bounds, human creativity found other ways to showcase the wonders of this new age, on display for all the world to see, at the grandest stage of all, the 1900 Paris Exposition. The Paris Exposition of 1900 was more than just a world's fair. It was a celebration of human progress at the dawn of a new century. Held on the banks of the Seine, this exposition was a showcase for technological innovation and cultural achievement. Over 50 million visitors marveled at inventions like the moving walkway and the telegraphone, glimpsing the future that these advancements promised. But it wasn't just technology on display. The exposition also celebrated human athleticism with the modern Olympic Games, bringing competitors from around the world to Paris. The Exposition Universelle symbolized the optimism of a world that believed in progress and the power of human ingenuity. Yet, as we leave the marvels of Paris behind, we remember that the events of 1900 were not isolated moments in history. They were the beginnings of forces that would shape the century to come, be it the rise of quantum mechanics, the struggle for colonial power, or the lessons learned from nature's fury. As we look back on 1900, we see more than just events. We see the dawn of a century that would redefine the human experience.